Yo, we are rolling already. Oh, damn. Hi, what's up? What's up? Yes, my name is Esredu, and I'm glad we are doing this again. We are back with the beautiful content we do create, and Ibrahim Traore is in the news again. You know, Ibrahim Traore is the president of Burkina Faso who is loved and admired by all. I repeat, he is loved and admired by all. Now, let me quickly cast our mind back to something else before I proceed on this particular video or piece. You know, several years ago, Sub-Saharan Africa, or we in Africa, had our country colonized by different European countries. Let me simply put it that way. And I keep saying that colonization, which led to the slave trade, I mean that inhumane aspect of our did us more harm than good, if I should be honest with you wonderful people. And one thing is, we are gradually losing our culture due to what we experienced from that pre-colonial and colonial era. A very good example, let me quickly cite an example by using my part of the world. I'm a Ghanaian, and even some of our names or naming of specific things and places has this influence from the colonization and many other things that I sometimes can't really fathom about. A very good example is a town in Ghana or a particular place in Ghana known as Achem. Due to infiltration of Western culture, we do describe it as Akim. That's one bad thing. And another place like in Ghana, for instance, we normally say something like Asante, you know, the Asante Kingdom. But you know, day in and out, you hear a lot of people going like the Ashanti Kingdom. You understand? That is more like an infiltration of the Western culture, having an influence on our pronunciation or how we do name specific places or certain things. One thing I want to quickly touch on has got to do with the fact that it also affected some of the names of airports, streets or roads, and other places of tourist attractions. And that's one thing we need to do away with. If there should be a street in Ghana named as Queen Elizabeth Street, ladies and gentlemen, trust me, I'm going to kick against that. Because you have a whole lot of prominent people in society that we can name that particular street after. And currently, as we speak, we still have a lot of prominent people around who are doing some great and wonderful things in support of our country that we can name our nations after. There's this particular interchange in Accra known as Akueje Interchange. If you hear of Akueje Interchange, that is a clear indication that yes, he was a man who played a role or contributed his quota to the Ghanaian development. If you hear of a name like Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Circle, bro, that's the legend, bro. My love for Kwame Nkrumah never dies. That's the first Prime Minister of Ghana. So you get to understand that Kwame Nkrumah did something great for Ghana and Africa at large. And as such, he needs to be acknowledged. If you hear of a street like Nelson Mandela Street or Nelson Mandela Avenue, bro, adapt my care to that son of the soil. So, we did a lot of digging. Let me say it properly, fellas. I have to save this before we proceed. Water is life. Alright, so we did a lot of digging as I made mention previously, and it came to light that some streets in Africa still bears the name of our colonial masters. And I'm like, bro, it's 2025. What are we doing? And recently, the president of the land, the son of the soil, Ibrahim Traore, fellas, I still dub my cap to that son of the soil. So Ibrahim Traore recently did something. He named this wonderful street in Burkina Faso after Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, who is a former president of the Republic of Ghana. May his soul rest in perfect peace. And it's something beautiful, something exciting, seeing something of the sort. You know, there was this inauguration of the Sankara Mausoleum that was happening, and as part of that particular event, he went an extra mile to name a street after Jerry John Rawlings, the late Jerry John Rawlings, who is an ex-president of the Republic of Ghana. And that is something beautiful. You know, Africa, it is now time for us to come together. It is now time for us to come together as one. You know, that was actually the vision of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, as I made mention previously. But don't also forget that there's this particular place in Ghana known as Sankara. Yeah, I think it's more of an interchange in Accra here. I was there somewhere last week or so. And I love seeing something of the sort. You know, if I go to other African countries and I see a statue of Thomas Sankara, I see a statue of Nelson Mandela, I see it, bro. It just excites me all of a sudden. It just excites me, and that is what I'm talking about. So, as part of the inauguration of the Thomas Sankara Mausoleum, a street was named after Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, and we are told that a team from Ghana represented. I've seen the pictures and I'm excited about it. And we had the son and daughter of the late Rawlings attending. Ladies and gentlemen, that is something great. That is something great. And I think one of the media houses captured a talk from the son of Jerry John Rawlings. So let me not talk much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's quickly catch a glimpse of that particular piece. I am sure the son of the late Rawlings has something beautiful to say about all this. So let's proceed.
I think it's something that should have happened at this magnitude a while ago.
Okay.
The Thomas Sankara's Foundation have done their best to keep his legend alive, and we've always been happy to support. President Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings was certainly, my father was certainly a huge supporter of the foundation, and he was a very close friend of Thomas Sankara. So it means a lot to be here, and it means a lot that the whole of Africa was more or less here to support this momentous occasion. United we will rise, and divided we will fall. That's the way I look at it. I think now more than ever we have the opportunity to come together as a continent. Many have come before who have tried to accomplish this, but I feel that the atmosphere is perfect for that kind of unity. We see what is happening in the West, and for once I think we're in a position to look inward at ourselves and see how we can progress as a continent, not just, divided whereby everybody is doing something in their own little corner. And together I think we could be a force for good in this world. So I think let's streamline things, let's work towards a better future, and I think our leaders are on the precipice of making that happen. So I think we're in a good place, but certainly united we will be able to accomplish that.
United we will rise, divided we will fall. Said by the son of the soil, the son of Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. And that is great, that is great. He made mention that this is the time for Africa to come together. And trust me, a lot of the founding fathers had that particular vision. And it is rather unfortunate that people kept sabotaging them on a regular basis. We have come to a time where we need to wake up from our slumber, as I keep saying, in Africa. It is now time for us to rise, take the mantle into our own hands, and make our world a better place. Now, recently, I was saying to a very good friend of mine that you start being a man the very moment you realize that nobody is coming to save you. And I'm proud to say that I realized that particular thing, or I realized that during my early 20s. So in my early 20s, I realized nobody is going to save me. It's just me, myself, and I. So I repeat, you start being a man. Immediately you realize nobody is coming to save you or nobody is coming to rescue you. So Africa, it is now time for us to be men. Nobody is coming to save us. We are the same people who can make Africa great today for the future generation to benefit from it. Well, a very big thumbs up to President Ibrahim Traore and the Thomas Sankara Foundation in general. Thomas Sankara has always been in the good books of Africa. May his soul rest in perfect peace. And trust me, we will never forget about him. Such wonderful people will always remain in our history books. We will never stop talking about them. Generations, generations, and generations unborn will still come and experience the life and legacy of wonderful people like Thomas Sankara. A very big thumbs up to President Ibrahim Traore for this wonderful gesture. We love this, we love this. Ghanaians love this, Ghanaians appreciate, and I believe the family of Jerry John Rawlings are proud, and they will forever be grateful. Wow! This has been beautiful. This has been a wonderful experience, and bro, I love doing this. I love doing this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't talk much. So permit me to use this medium, podium, or platform So say a very big thank you for supporting this particular channel from the very first day we started. You know, we come, we go, we take a little break due to one or two reasons. You know, sometimes I keep saying that life happens, but you never give up on us. Well, we are back, and trust me, we are going to do a lot of wonderful things without taking a break. So, well, if this is the first time joining this particular channel, where have you been, bro? Where have you been? You are welcome. You are welcome. Again, my name is Tetredu, and I'm excited you've made time out of your busy schedule to join me on the content I do create. If you love what I do, and you genuinely want to be part of this beautiful family, do what? Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and keep your comments coming. Peace.